In the mid-1960s, America was in the middle of a horsepower war. Muscle cars ruled the streets, drag strips, and dealership lots. Ford had just changed the game in 1964 with the Mustang, creating an entirely new class of car. The pony car. It was affordable, sporty, customizable, and wildly popular. General Motors could not ignore that success. Chevrolet needed an answer, and in 1966, they delivered it. That answer was the Chevrolet Camaro. This is the complete history of the first-generation Camaro, the legendary 1967, 1968, and 1969 models. By 1965, the Mustang was selling in massive numbers. Chevrolet dealers were losing sales every single day to Ford. GM executives were not happy. They wanted their own Mustang fighter, but they didn't want a cheap copy. They wanted something sharper, more aggressive, and more performance-focused. Chevrolet engineers developed a brand new platform, internally called the F-Body. It featured a rear-wheel drive layout, a wide stance, and the ability to fit big engines under the hood. When asked what the name Camaro meant, Chevy famously joked that it was a small, vicious animal that eats Mustangs. Whether that was true or not, the Camaro was built with one clear mission: beat the Mustang on the street, on the track, and in the showroom. The 1967 Camaro officially went on sale in September of 1966. Right away, it was clear that this was not just another compact car. The design was low, wide, and muscular, with a long hood and short rear deck, classic American performance proportions. Buyers could choose between two body styles, coupe or convertible. Base models came with a 230 cubic inch inline-six engine, but if you wanted performance, Chevy gave you plenty of choices: a 327 small block V8, a 350 small block V8, and the king of the lineup, the 396 big block V8, producing up to 375 horsepower. For serious performance fans, Chevrolet offered the Z28 package, which came with a high-revving 302 cubic inch V8, heavy-duty suspension, front disc brakes, and special wheels and stripes. This was built specifically for Trans Am racing, and it instantly made the Camaro a track-ready machine. The 1967 Camaro was a massive success. It didn't outsell the Mustang in its first year, but it proved that Chevrolet had created something special. For 1968, Chevrolet didn't completely redesign the Camaro, but they made some important changes. The front end was slightly updated, giving the car a cleaner, more aggressive look. Side marker lights were added due to new federal safety regulations. Becoming one of the easiest ways to tell a 67 from a 68, inside the dashboard was refined, and new interior options were introduced, including improved seats and trim packages. Under the hood, the engine lineup stayed mostly the same, but performance continued to improve. The big news for 1968 was the introduction of the SS, or Supersport, package in a more recognizable form. SS Camaros came with upgraded suspension, bigger brakes, distinct badging, and most importantly, big block power. This was also the year the Camaro became even more visible in pop culture and racing, especially in SCCA and Trans Am competition. On the street, 1968 Camaros became symbols of speed, rebellion, and American muscle. Many enthusiasts consider 1969 the greatest Camaro ever built, and for good reason. Chevrolet gave the Camaro a major styling update. The body became wider, more aggressive, and more muscular. The front grille was sharper, the fenders were more sculpted, and the overall stance looked tougher than ever. The 1969 Camaro is often called the most collectible year of the first generation. This is also the year that gave us some of the most legendary Camaros of all time, including the COPO Camaro. COPO stood for Central Office Production Order, a special system normally used for fleet vehicles, but clever dealers and engineers used it to build ultra-high-performance Camaros that were not officially listed in brochures. The most famous was the COPO 427 Camaro, powered by a massive 427 cubic inch V8, producing well over 400 horsepower. These cars were built to dominate drag strips, and today they are among the most valuable Camaros ever made. The 1969 Z28 returned with a high-revving 302 engine, upgraded suspension, and race-ready components. It was one of the best-handling American cars of its era. For buyers who wanted raw muscle without going full race car, the SS 396 and SS 350 delivered serious performance with legendary big block and small block options. By the end of 1969, the first-generation Camaro had firmly established itself as one of the greatest muscle cars in history. The Camaro was not just a street car, it was a true racing machine. In the late 1960s, Camaros dominated the Trans Am series, going head-to-head with Mustangs, Javelins, and Firebirds. Drivers like Mark Donohue and Roger Penske helped cement the Camaro's reputation as a serious performance car. On drag strips across America, 1967 to 1969, Camaros became legendary for their speed, durability, and ability to handle big power. Even today, first-gen Camaros are staples of classic drag racing, autocross, and vintage road racing. More than 50 years later, the 1967-1969 Camaro remains one of the most iconic American cars ever built. Collectors love them because they look incredible, they are easy to restore, they are fun to drive, and they represent the golden age of American muscle. Prices have skyrocketed in recent years, especially for Z28s, SS models, and COPO cars. But beyond value, these cars represent something bigger, a time when performance, style, and freedom ruled the road. The first-generation Camaro wasn't just Chevrolet's answer to the Mustang, it became a legend in its own right. From the birth of the 1967 model, to the refinement of 1968, to the peak performance of 1969, these 3 years shaped the future of American muscle. Whether you're a lifelong Camaro fan or just learning about classic cars, one thing is clear. The 1967-1969 Camaro changed. If you love classic muscle, hit like, subscribe, and stick around. There's a lot more horsepower coming.